Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda.
Hello, Pranas Maharaj. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to Vrindavaneshwari Didi. Good morning, later in the morning, to Rādhāṣṭamī Devinasi. And good early morning to Seva Rupa Didi. And good evening to Leela Moy. All right. So we are exactly on time, which is good, no doubt. And let me just see. Well, I have back to basics here, but not showing live just yet. Okay. So, dear devotees, as others do gather, let us chant Vandanam. Then we can use our 59 minutes as nicely as possible. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitan Tan Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitanscha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Hari. And greetings to Dana. Dana has sent us some flowers and hearts and obeisances and sunshine or stars, as she does happily. So welcome Dana and Gangalila and Priyanana, who have joined us since we greeted everybody. Dayanlitai Prabhu also joined us, and Rupanuga Prabhu, Udaram Prabhu, and Chintamani Devinasi. All right, well, what can we say?
Oh, Maharaj, please tell us, how was Shri Rādhāṣṭamī in Vila Govinda?
Non-stop.
Tell us, every detail.
Oh, well, every detail means one comment from Munindra Mohan Prabhu. He was very happy because he said, oh, we are doing Zoom in one room with some devotees, in the temple room, other devotees hearing. So sometimes, of course, the aratis and the program, we had the program, of course, there, but in the afternoon, evening time, throughout the afternoon and into the evening, into the night, practically, we can say here, then we had activity going on everywhere. And we had guests come, and 7 people, which I know isn't very much if you're in Mauritius or somewhere like that, or Navadip, those times. But for us, 7 new people came, and the devotees were with those devotees. And so the point is, Munindra Prabhu was very happy that there was preaching going on, or people reaching going on simultaneously, so on the veranda, in the temple room, in the area where we have prasadam. Oh, they had the kiosk running yesterday, so the kiosk outside. And here in Srila Gurudev's room, we're here in Srila Gurudev's room. But I noticed yesterday, if I show Gurudev from here, I think the light, today the light doesn't,
Wonderful.
Yesterday the light reflected. All right. The law of physics may change from day to day by the will of the Lord. So anyhow, here we are. And Kea Murti sounds like a South Indian lady. Am I correct?
Yes, my father is from Andhra Pradesh. Yes, my mother is Bengali.
Acha, your ma is Bangla and your father is from Andhra.
Baba is Telugu. Ma is
Telugu.
Bengali.
So you speak Telugu, Bangla and English. Is that correct?
No, I speak Assamese, I speak Bengali, I speak Gujarati, I speak Marathi, I speak Hindi. I speak
You can give us classes of Bengali.
Yes, if you want to study Bangla, then yes.
Well, we're very happy to have you with us in Kea. And with all of those languages, then you must also have a heart of devotion, I'm sure. Because actually all these languages are rich in expressing devotion, but in all these languages there are so many traditional books which at home the householders, means the parents read to the children, the grandparents read to their children. Maybe you were brought up on Ramayana and Mahabharata, a little different than being brought up with Donald.
And Catholicism. Yes, I went to a Catholic school, so Catholicism too.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. All right. So welcome. And I see Chintamani, she put a little note there. Kea is my good friend and life coach. Okay. Well, we have your life coach student here, Chintamani.
Jaidev introduced her last time, and she was a beautiful, beautiful lady. We are so happy to have her again. So nice.
And in the meantime, also Tungarasa from Norway joined, and Muktinath Prabhu, who I expect is in Govinda Farm in Thailand, also joined us. So from around the world, we have our devotee family. And from around the world, wherever you are able to meet up with other devotees, I'm sure that everyone has got some story about yesterday. But really, it was a very sweet day for us because it was basically almost continuous Hari Katha and Radha-centered Katha, which is kind of a dangerous zone. So we're always trying to keep in the safe zone. Dangerous because to talk about the Lord and the intimate, close pastimes which take place in Goloka Vrindavan, that really is the domain of our masters, of the pure section who've come from there. After all, as Brahma Samhita says, and as we get reminded constantly, only a handful of persons know that land of Goloka and in this world. And what to speak of knowing that whole gradation of Goloka, just to know of Goloka and the ecstasy of the birds, the trees, the everything within Goloka Vrindavan, the blades of grass, the stones melt with the touch of Krishna's feet. So just to know of that land, only a handful of persons know. And what to speak of knowing the gradation and that highest acme, as Guru Maharaj uses the word acme, the highest peak of the devotional plane. So we were discussing these topics with care all the way through from early morning to late evening for us, for evening time, and trying to always not cover exactly the same thing every time, so that we are seeing the different aspects and hearing from other devotees, from the devotees around us too. And we do have here Sri Lekha, who is a lifetime people reacher and opener of centers and a wife, mother, grandmother, and manager of the temple in the ashram in Salt Lake City, Sweet Lake City in Utah. We do have her with us, and she was very enthusiastic yesterday, by the way. She said, "Oh, I got so tired, but I'm so enthusiastic. When's the next Zoom?" And I said, "Well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning." She asked me, "When's the next Zoom?" I don't know why I miss these Zooms. So, she was enlivened by preaching and by seeing the devotees, seeing so many devotees, because, we are aware of the devotees around us and our local communities, extended communities. But she was very enlivened to be able to talk to devotees from all over the world, as we do. And see whether oh yes, now Facebook shows that it is live. And on Facebook, we have our revered Jagamohini Devi Dasi. And I mean revered, very honorable Jagamohini Devi Dasi. And Mathura Basini Devi Dasi. And Gaurangi Devi Dasi too. I can see them because they've made some notes there of obeisances, Hare Krishna, and dandavats from each of them to all the sweet devotees. Jagamohini addressing you all. She said to me and to all the sweet devotees. So she's got me in a separate department. It's okay, Jagamohini Didi, I understand. Hare Krishna. And I'm sure we're all sending obeisances to you.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, now Chintamani sent me what I would have thought was a private message in the public chat, but I was so deprived, spaced out, doing so much savor that okay, well, I think it's a private message in the public chat, so everyone can see the heart of the devotees. The devotees don't have any secrets, do they? Revealing their hearts, just see. All right. So in other words, yes, these special days, we do try to do something extra. And by Krishna's grace, by Gurudev's grace and Guru Maharaj's grace, we were given that opportunity automatically. And as we were discussing with Brazil, the Brazilian devotees, how really a cooking religion, Krishna consciousness became known as the kitchen religion. That was a nickname given by some of the devotees. And really it was like that here too. And I expect that on the Instagram page, the Facebook page of Vila Govinda, that they do have photos of the offerings, and probably from the kitchen and everything too. I don't go on Facebook and Instagram. I'm sorry, dear devotees. So please don't send me messages there because I don't get them. But I know most people do go on Facebook and Instagram, and you no doubt can see some pictures. And a picture tells 1,000 words. So you can see some of their offerings. Oh, look, Nadia Sundari came to join Chintamani in some secret location in Vila Govinda, extended ashram, because now we have Chinmoy Dev Prabhu's house is right next door, and I think they're in his house because we have extra devotees staying, and they had a holiday planned for this time, means Chinmoy Dev and his wife Doyamoy Devidasi. And so they've gone for a short time for a holiday. So they've given their house for the devotees, which their house feels like an extension of the temple. So you can see the ladies have taken over the house. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, For Brazil and for the States, it's still Shri Rādhāṣṭamī. That's why I ask you, because we still are excited. Today is Rādhāṣṭamī for us.
Well, well, well. Where's our Paramananda Prabhu?
Well, he had trouble connecting. He was out of range. So I don't know whether he will connect to BBBC, but Bhakti Yoga for All, he couldn't connect.
Ah, okay, okay. Because he is, I mean, genuinely, he's a mine of not only information, but understand experience, devotional experience from teenage time, young teenage time. And that's how he explains that in the USSR, before the wall came down, then he was able to distribute at that time Srila Prabhupada's books and go all over the place distributing books without getting into trouble, in the sense of he was underage for being arrested. So the police would catch him for distributing books, whatever it may be. But because he was underage, they consider him as a juvenile, not a grown-up. So he was able to do lots of things in the sense of distribution of books, which was emphasized so much by Srila Prabhupada. So literally from his teenage years on upwards, he's got a lifetime of experience. And is there anybody with us who may have been, oh, Priyanana? No, not Priyanana. We think Priyanana is an old devotee in the sense of having Gurudev's association for Rādhāṣṭamī. Is that possible, Priyanana? Were you at any Rādhāṣṭamī with Gurudev? Narayani is here, Narayani Nadia. She was in India as a teenager, and she's still a teenager, we know, but she was with Gurudev as a teenager. I wonder if she has something to share, because we do want to share Gurudev and his mood. Narayani, and it's good to have you with us early, Narayani. I give you some credits.
Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat pranams.
On such a special day. I can't think of anything to share right now because I just joined.
Okay.
The Zoom.
If you do, and just put up a hand or something, and we'll be happy to hear from you. And
okay.
I know you say, "Oh, I was so young, I don't remember so much," but you do remember something. And if we ask politely, maybe something will come to mind as we are talking. And we know that you got the grace of Gurudev. He was
I pray and
Yes?
I pray and wish every day that I did. Sometimes I feel that I didn't.
Gurudev was affectionate with everybody, and with the, I don't want to say child, but you were, in Gurudev's eye, you were a child, you were a young teenager, not an old, I don't know what age you were, you know what age you were. But Gurudev was very affectionate with the children. So it was, first of all, a good opportunity to be a child. And so you definitely got mercy from him. Anyhow, here we are. It is Rādhāṣṭamī, and everything in Goloka Vrindavan is full of heart. And the heartiest of all of those hearty residents or residents of Goloka Vrindavan, the heartiest of all the amazingly heartiest individuals there is Srimati Radharani. And we've got the experience of life with our hearty Srila Gurudev, with our hearty Srila Guru Maharaj, and a glimpse of the wonderful world that's waiting, that exists and that's waiting for us. Yesterday, I did recommend at different times to the devotees listening to please read the book, The Loving Search, or the Loving Search for the Lost Servant. And the book form, the physical book form of that book, has inside as a wonderful picture which touches everybody's heart. The picture of Krishna welcoming back Gopakumar, who had traveled so far for so many millions of years. And his diary of those millions of years, if you like, is recorded in the Brihat Bhagavatamrita. But when he finally reaches Goloka Vrindavan, there's Krishna embracing him and saying, "Why, how could you stay away for so long?" And that picture is often what devotees remember most about the book. But, oh, that sweet, affectionate embrace of the Lord as Gopakumar comes to Goloka Vrindavan. But the whole theme of that book is about these highest, sweetest, heartiest relationships of Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu, being that Radha Krishna combined, so that Krishna can taste her service, but so that he can also distribute that to the most needy. So when the Lord comes to distribute mercy, he doesn't come to distribute the minimum. In his storehouse, he's got everything. So this is the Namo Mahavadanyaya, the most merciful manifestation of the Lord. He's the most merciful. And the most merciful, then he is distributing the most to the least. The least qualified are become qualified by his grace to receive the highest thing. And that we hold on our head. This is the point. We hold this on our head and we hear, such as in the Loving Search for the Lost Servant, we hear from Guru Maharaj, and in affectionate guidance, we hear from Gurudev, but I was going to say revealed truth, Amnaya Tattva. There we will get also very wonderful descriptions. And these descriptions are not like we've heard and so we're retelling something. Some of it, no doubt, is retelling some things from Srila Saraswati, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, from Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, etc. But coming from Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, it is coming from the realized plane. It's coming from their heart. And this is the actual line coming from Mahaprabhu. It is, as Gurudev always said, heart-to-heart transmission. And when we read Revealed Truth by Gurudev, when we read Loving Search for the Lost Servant by Srila Guru Maharaj, we really want to try to read it that we are there with our masters, there with Gurudev and hearing, there with Guru Maharaj and hearing. And Guru Maharaj said that reading is a subtle form of hearing. When we're reading the words, we're reading the sound. Some subtle form of sound is there. So Shravanam, we are hearing.
Dear Maharaj, there is an excerpt of affectionate guidance in the chat. Please scan it because it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I hope you can read it to us.
I hope I can too. For some reason, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Karapara, Srivas Adi, Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Open file. Well, looks like I have to save it first. Oh, replace it. I already have it. How is that? BBBC 360. Kindly excuse, my computer is a personal computer and it does have personality. It doesn't always open things when I click on them. I have to open it from within the application. Don't ask me why. We're not here for Gyan, we're here for practical. Oh, BBC 26, Shri Upadeshamritam, is that correct? Is that what you sent?
No, affectionate guidance, Maharaj. The chapter, Our Lord's Beloved Power.
Oh, well, I probably do have that here. One moment.
It was too long to put in the chat. That's why I sent it
Yes.
on PDF.
And also that title sounds very familiar. Excerpt from... Oh, so this is an excerpt. On this Rādhāṣṭamī day, Srila Guru Maharaj has given us the opportunity to sing the song. Oh, yes, Sri Rādhāṣṭaka by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yes, so this is very good. Oh, this is a short excerpt too.
Yes.
All right. So I'll read, this is a short excerpt from Affectionate Guidance by Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj. So on this Rādhāṣṭamī day, Srila Guru Maharaj has given us the opportunity to sing the song of Sri Rādhāṣṭaka by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He's saying here, Radhika Charana Padma Sakala Shreyera Sadma Jatane Ne Nahi Aradila. Quote, I did not take care to worship the lotus feet of Sri Radhika, which are the abode of all auspiciousness. That's the quote. Then Srila Gurudev saying, the Rupa Nuga Sampradaya gives some special, unique appreciation of Srimati Radharani. They feel that without the merciful connection of Srimati Radharani, they cannot approach towards Krishna at all. Only if the order is coming from her will they move towards him. They are extremely fanatical about Srimati Radharani, and that is their foremost qualification. In another song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Radha Bhajane Jaddimati Nahi Vela Krishna Bhajana Tava Akarane Gela. If you have no intention, so this isn't maybe exactly a translation, but Gurudev is saying about this. If you have no intention to serve Srimati Radharani, if your intention is only service to Sri Krishna, then you are surely spoiled. Shocking for many, isn't it? But this is the line that we are in, and it's good for us to become acquainted with this through the words and through the heart of our divine masters. Next verse, Atapa Rahita Suraya Nahi Jani Radha Virahita Madhava Nahi Mani. Just as without heat we cannot know the sun, so without Srimati Radharani there is no Krishna. The powerful is powerless. Kevala Madhava Pujaye so agyan. That
Agyani.
Agyani.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those who worship Krishna without Radharani their conception must be imperfect. Who knows the glories of the power must first worship the power and then the powerful. And this example, that just as without heat we cannot know the sun, and that's, I mean, such a good example, because if we just think, oh, the sun is orange, it's an orange ball in the sky, but no connection of heat. I mean, there is like an obvious example. Our masters, predecessor acharyas, Krishna himself, they choose very, very suitable examples, and we should, think these points very clearly. Uma, Rama, Satya, Shachi, Chandra, Rukmini, Radha, Avatara, Sobe, Amnaya, Vani. Oh yes, all the auspicious, powerful, divine women, such as Uma, Rama Devi, Lakshmi, Satyabhama, Sati, Chandravali, and others are the expansions of Srimati Radharani. And Hena Radha Parichaja Jakara Dhana Bhakti Vinoda Tara Magaye Charana. Thus Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in conclusion that he worships the lotus feet of those who worship the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radha Thakurani ki jai. Acha, yes. May all glory be unto her, the power of powers, the queen of Sri Krishna's heart. Yes, very wonderful. And you see, these things almost, it would be audacious for me to sort of make commentaries on these high matters, but it's the very subject matter that is being gently tapped into us day by day as we read, hear, and engage in the service to the Maha Mantra, which is all Radha Krishna centered, and in the service to our masters, who are themselves in service to Radha Krishna. And yesterday I read, if not all the chapter, much of that chapter, as I'm sure many of you have done too. Hare Krishna. Oh yes, and yesterday read excerpts from The Loving Search for the Lost Servant. Don't forget Mahaprabhu throughout all of these descriptions, because Mahaprabhu is them with a capital T, and Mahaprabhu is distributing those high, high things. And yesterday I did do a search in Loving Search, and came up, I think, was with 137 times Radharani's, Srimati Radharani's name is mentioned in that one book, The Loving Search for the Lost Servant, 137 times, which is amazing. When this secret was only revealed, shown clearly by Mahaprabhu. Before that, not much emphasis at all. And as Gurudev pointed out yesterday, well, as Gurudev pointed out yesterday, a few years ago, maybe we read him pointing out yesterday, or heard him pointing out yesterday, that Rādhāṣṭamī was only worshipped, and Radharani really only worshipped within a small circle up until very recently. And now all over the world, the devotees are giving honor, giving special celebrations on Rādhāṣṭamī, and hearing about Radharani, hearing about those pastimes. And as we're always told, we have to hear from the pure devotees. Then our mundane conceptions and mundane ideas they will leave us. We won't be tempted. We won't be thinking in any wrong way. And this is also something, when we are reading these books, we do need to read from beginning to end, as Gurudev pointed out. And Srimad Bhagavatam, before coming to explain about the pastimes in Vrindavan, then 9 cantos, so I don't know how many thousands of verses, but many thousands of verses are there before we come to the Radha Krishna pastimes. And by the way, as most of you are aware, I think, that even when come to Radha Krishna's pastimes, then Shukadev Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam does not directly take her name at all. So this really is confidential subject matters. And Guru Maharaj told, and what he says is true. That is, I mean, always true, in jest, in everything. What Guru Maharaj and Gurudeva always in that plane of telling us reality. And Guru Maharaj told that we are studying in the same class, the same classroom as Lord Brahma. So, you know, that's a little sobering. I'm sure Lord Brahma's got his special place in that class, along with Guru Maharaj and Gurudev and so many. But, oh well, they're the teachers, Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, teachers. When Lord Shiva and I believe Brahma and others were together discussing the verse Apichet Sudaracharo it's in Bhagavad Gita, they called over Bhaktivinoda Thakur to hear from him that, oh, he can teach us something about this verse. So we have, you know, super wonderful masters, and we should hear from these things from the right source, as we're doing here, reading from Sri Brahma Samhita. Reading from Affectionate Guidance. Sorry, I was thinking of Brahma Samhita because yesterday too, we never read it as such. We didn't read it. We only referred to it and quoted a few lines. The verse 56 of Brahma Samhita, which is very dear to all of the devotees and a whole reminder of our home. And if I can pull up Brahma Samhita very quickly, then we can read verse 56 now, if I can pull up Brahma Samhita very quickly. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. So Brahma Samhita. Finally, I have it. Let me find verse 56. So verse 56 comes after verse 55. Okay, my very good mathematics. But 55 is the last of the verses which end with the Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Ahang Bhajami line. And then those are the prayers by Lord Brahma, full prayers by Lord Brahma, given so much credit by Mahaprabhu himself, and who Mahaprabhu had his devotees, when he came back to Puri, had his devotees copy this. And this was a great treasure for everyone, a wonderful discovery. So again, before Mahaprabhu's appearance, such scriptures as Brahma Samhita were hidden. They were some hidden way. They were known, they were preserved, they're with some, few sadhus somewhere. But Mahaprabhu brought this from South India. So clearly he was vastly read. Of course, we know his superposition as a Pandit, Nimai Pandit in Navadip. And he was a professor, And so he knew the scripture, he knew so many things, but he'd not come across Brahma Samhita. But when he was on tour in South India, he came across this book and brought it up to North India. Well, he brought it up to Puri, and in Jagannath Puri, which is, I don't know whether you call it South India or not, but it's not the north, it's not Bengal, and where Mahaprabhu had his earlier pastimes. And so in Orissa, Jagannath Puri, in Bengal, that all of that area, at least, this book was not known. So Mahaprabhu brought this from South India, and he gave so much honor to it. So that verse 56, some of you probably a little familiar with the Sanskrit also, and I'll read the Sanskrit and then we'll read the translation. The Sanskrit is Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpa Taravo Druma Bhumis Chintam Mani Ganamayi Toyam Amritam Kataganam Natyam Gamanam Appivangshi Prayasaki Chidanandam Jyoti Param Appitad Asvadyam Appicha Sajatra Kshirabdhi Shravati Surabhi Bhyascha Summahan Nimeshad Hakyo Va Vrajati Nahi Yatrapi Sammayaha Bhaje Sveta Dipang Tam Aham Iha Golokam Iti Yam Vidantaste Shantakshiti Virala Charaha Katipaye. And please excuse, we try our best to pronounce properly, but when we have native Devanagari readers and speakers like Kea with us, then please excuse if we don't get it exactly right. And Bangla, we have a little better idea. And Sanskrit, we do our best in both languages. But the English, I can try the English. I'm an Englishman. Well, that's the designation of the body, isn't it? Translation. That place where the divine goddesses of fortune are the beloved, and Krishna, the supreme male, is the only lover. All the trees are divine wish-fulfilling trees. The soil is made of transcendental gems, and the water is nectar. Where every word is a song, every movement is dancing. The flute is the dearmost companion. Sunlight and moonlight are divine ecstasy, and all that be is divine and enjoyable. Where a great ocean of milk eternally flows from the udders of billions of Surabhi cows, and the divine time is eternally present, never suffering the estrangement of past and future for even a split second. That transcendental abode of Shwetadeep do I adore. Practically no one in this world knows that place, but for only a few pure devotees, and they know it as Goloka. Hare Krishna. And in the edition of Brahma Samhita published from Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math, which is available in scanned PDF form, it's clearly scanned when you see it, on scsmat.com in the books section, then there I can, how long is the purport? Okay, the purport's a little long, but the purport, the commentary is by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And just I'll read from at the beginning, the purport. So Jai Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. So the place that is reached by the jivas, the jiva souls, through the highest loving service is completely transcendental. Despite that, it is never non-differentiated or without attributes. The non-differentiative plane of Brahman is attained by the jivas through the sentiments of anger, fear, and delusion. But the devotees, as Srila Prabhupada would say, the devotees reach the transcendental world of Paravyoma Vaikuntha, or above that, Goloka, according to their individual rasa or pure devotional heart's disposition. Anyhow, this purport is here for homework, because it is it's gently long for our reading, for our gathering today. But the description, this is a description and very favored by Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. This and other verses, Chintamani Prakarasatma Shukalpa Vriksha, etc., within the Brahma Samhita, are a wonderful description of our home. And our home that's being granted to us by Mahaprabhu, by Nitai, Gauranga, means Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, this is our home, and this is a description of that. Hare Krishna. And Divya Shakti is sending obeisances. And we actually had some, not just a glimpse, we were in the Sweet Lake City ashram yesterday for a little while, by Zoom, of course. But I didn't see you there, Divya. We were in the kitchen, but I was asking after we were over, I said, wait, where's Divya? We didn't see Divya. So good to see you with us, Divya Shakti Lady. And Madhava Prabhu, and Krishna Mohini, Catherine Kolla, sending her obeisances to the devotees. And by the way, Gaurangi sent a squirrel. Is it a squirrel with a big heart? Something like that on Facebook. A very happy looking squirrel. If it is a squirrel, I don't know what it is. Hare Krishna, some happy living entity. Okay, dear devotees, I keep on saying that Zoom is interactive and we should interact more, but I still keep talking a lot, don't I? Oh, Chintamani put the what I was reading there into the chat box. And as we speak, also receiving some Rādhāṣṭamī news, and I won't play it now, but I see that from Tomsk, they've sent some videos of their celebrations yesterday and pictures of their feasting, their cooking for Krishna and honoring that prasadam. So, as Praneshwari is saying, it's still Rādhāṣṭamī. When I woke up this morning, I thought it's not still Rādhāṣṭamī, but now I understand it is still Rādhāṣṭamī. Yes, any contribution from anyone, anything or any question, I suppose, but contribution would be appreciated. I would like to hear.
Oh, Maharaj, if I may, it's in my heart when in 1984, I went to India. That was the very first time that I saw Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And we went, I think it was October, so it was after Rādhāṣṭamī. But Srila Guru Maharaj, he was in a special mood still after the festival of Sri Rādhāṣṭamī. And he told us the story. The movement of his hands were so smooth, so soft, so beautiful. The cadence of his talk was enchanting. We were charmed. And he speaks very, very low. So everyone was so attentive to try to catch what he was saying. And he told us that very first time when Sri Krishna was taken to the house where it was Shrimati Radharani on a crib, a little baby girl who was born blind and her eyes were closed. And the expression on Srila Guru Maharaj's face when he said, and he was lifted to see inside the crib. And that very moment, Srimati Radharani opened her eyes. And the expression of Srila Guru Maharaj with his hands, open her eyes. It was so beautiful because he was there. He was seeing that and he was telling us. That was a magical moment, Maharaj. That was so sweet, extremely sweet.
Too much appreciated in the usage of Gurudev. Too much. Don't ask me, oh, why is it too much? It means very, very much. This is Gurudev's usage of English. Too much appreciated. And Guru Maharaj's hands and his feet, super transcendental, shall we say. And in Bengali, then the word for the fingers and the toes are the same. And so Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, somehow his toes and his fingers, then they look like just very similar in their kind of softness and straightness and just magnificence, very sweet. But yet Guru Maharaj was so strong. But his hands, not like the workers' hands, like the strong hands of the devotees like that, but very gentle. But yet he was strong. When he was young, when he was at college, he did weightlifting. And Saraswati, our London manager, who's here, her husband, Aditi Rani, he used to do weightlifting when he was in India. He had a weightlifting teacher just in Calcutta, near Dum Dum Park, near our temple. And not on, anyway, okay, that's a sidetrack. Not exactly Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Beautiful Praneshwari Didi. And we are reminded, and we were reminded here, some devotees actually pointed it out. Here we played, Chintamani can say which day, but maybe 3 days ago, we were playing an excerpt from, or an excerpt of Srila Guru Maharaj, a selection from him. And he was sitting on that outside bed that overlooks Govinda Kund and towards the Ganges, so eastern side. And he's sitting there. But the devotees commented here about how peaceful, how gentle and quiet was Navadip at that time. And you can hear birds talking away and doing many things. And we also heard the kokil, which is there. And that time, the road outside the temple, it was hardly a road. It was a road. But it was a road with holes in, substantial holes. But it doesn't go anywhere. It's a dead end. It goes down to Gauranga colony and then a little village down there. So it wasn't a well-used road, but now, like everywhere in the world, perhaps the population has increased a lot in the area, and practically a whole new village has come further down. And so there's a lot of up and down movement on that road now. But when we see and hear Guru Maharaj, the environment in which he's speaking is also super gentle and super sweet. And when Srila Govinda Maharaj came very first time to the temple, he said, I had some impression of what is an ashram, where the sadhus stay. Because I've read Ramayana, or been brought up with Ramayana and Mahabharata and the scripture. I had some idea of the ashram of the sages. But he said when he came to Chaitanya Saraswat Math, he found just a thatched house and Guru Maharaj staying in one thatched house and one just like very simply made house at that time as well, I think, with just mud and bricks. And anyway, when Gurudev came, he said, I didn't see that this fitted my impression of an ashram. And then the devotee who brought him, he said, it's not about the surroundings or the buildings that are there. It's about the sadhu. It may be a small place, but there's a big sadhu inside. Come and meet Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And met Srila Guru Maharaj. And the rest is history, as we say. But nowadays, or in the time in the beginning of the 80s when we came to Chaitanya Saraswat Math, when you came to Chaitanya Saraswat Math, it did feel like an ashram. And it had all those, the mood of the ashram, including what we're thinking of just now. It's like so many birds. And the dawn chorus before the sun rises, the dawn chorus was almost deafening, I mean, very loud. Even if you're outside and you're trying to have a conversation, those birds, they're all talking so much. And very rich with wildlife at that time. We had the anaconda, the very, very big lizard things, and I'm not sure the names of everything, but there was much more wildlife because the area was much more jungly still, and many more mosquitoes. Should I add? No, I won't add that. But there was lots of wildlife. And the birds, so many birds. Hare Krishna. From 1984, some other recollection from you, Praneshwari Devi. Just anything from 84. You saw the 3 mango trees, those 3 big mango trees that were there. The first one passed away when Srila Guru Maharaj, the very day Srila Guru Maharaj passed away. And the second one passed away just before Srila Gurudev passed away. Yes. Each tree making way for the Samadhi construction of first Srila Guru Maharaj and then Srila Gurudev. And one tree is remaining. And
they were resaving the place. They were saving the place.
They were. And it's true, the tree that passed away on the day of Srila Guru Maharaj's disappearance was the biggest and healthiest of them all. And it was giving nice shade, very nice shade, and gave also nice shade for Srila Guru Maharaj, the bathing ceremony, after bathing the body after he passed away and before going into Samadhi. And that afternoon, we noticed that the leaves were falling off that tree like rain. It wasn't later that we noticed. That afternoon, one devotee said, we were sitting on the steps, and one devotee said, look at the mango tree. And it was raining leaves off the tree. And in the morning, then that tree had been, with its branches spread over, giving shade while the abhishek and rituals were done for Srila Guru Maharaj's body after he'd disappeared, not departed. But those mango trees, Gurudev had much affection for every tree in the mat. And famously we know that he wouldn't cut any tree. He did move some trees, but he didn't like, okay, we have to cut down this tree so we can make a building here. He would move with much difficulty, and we saw. And sometimes the Prasadam hall that you probably have been in, some of you have been in, the new Prasadam hall, the existing 2-story Prasadam hall, that was built literally around trees. So you have coming up from the ground a palm tree, the palm tree, tall palm tree, coming up from the ground and then coming through the next floor. In America, they say the second floor, in English, the first floor, and then going up through the ceiling and out through the roof with a space around the tree. It's not that the concrete is touching the tree, there's space for the tree to grow. Because those trees were too big to move. And so Gurudev, he built the Prasadam hall with the trees growing through the middle, which is very sweet.
And his veranda is next to it, is the next building. So it's so beautiful, so beautiful. I remember in 1984, it was Anuradha there. And she was taking care of Srila Guru Maharaj directly with the medication and everything. She was always there. And one day next day we arrived, she said, I have some seva. Do you want to come to clean the veranda of Srila Guru Maharaj? And I said, oh, I was so excited. And we were very quiet because he was taking some rest. But it was so special, Maharaj, so special that we had this opportunity to get close. He would invite us every day. We would go up to see him. So personal and so sweet, extremely sweet. And there were, later I didn't see in 2012 when I went back, I didn't see, but in 1984, there were some bushes with pink flowers, very big pink flowers. And those were used for the garlands of Srila Guru Maharaj. And it was so beautiful. There is a photo that is in one of the books with a very big, very thick, but very light. The flowers were big, but very light. And they were prepared every day, those garlands. And that I loved. I loved to participate in that. And everything was special. Everything was special. And Srila Gurudev, he was always commanding, always organizing, always saying things, and he was full of energy. So everyone would pay attention to him. Whenever he was speaking, everyone was aware of what he was telling them. We didn't understand because he was speaking in Bangla, but it was the Shakti of total command, full command. He was the organizer. He was the one who said, this happens here, you do this, you do this, you do that. That was so special. That was dynamic and down to earth. Down to earth. He was always engaged in seva. Those are beautiful memories, Maharaj, that I hope that I will have that movie in front of me when it's my time to go, because I want to be there. That's the place I want to be.
Now we have the success of interactive Zoom. Beautiful that you're able to share that. And that floor you're saying it's a very simple thing to clean a floor or to clean a veranda. And especially you ladies in your homes, you do it all the time. But here in the temple, or here now we're saying here in the temple, but in the temple, and especially Guru Maharaj and Gurudev's veranda, it's so wonderful to clean those floors. And you know, when we were making the book room in the Paschatya Sevak Bhavan, that downstairs area, which I think is still a book room, for a bookshop like that, then we wanted to make the floor with that red color, the red fine cement, like on Guru Maharaj's veranda. But for love, for what they say, for love or money, whatever the expression is, we weren't able to duplicate it at all. And we tried so many things. And then the devotees actually told, and it was, where's Gaura Krishna, one of the servitors there, he said, actually, the floor only comes like this after years and years of like rubbing, cleaning it like with the cloth, and it becomes such a like a glowing red. So you've contributed to that special floor of Guru Maharaj's veranda. And I have to say, I'm also super nourished and remember and hope to always remember cleaning that Guru Maharaj's veranda and that floor, and you know, again and again. And it was by, as you pointed out, it's by the mercy of the servitors of the devotees who were there. And it was Anuradha and Badrinarayan Prabhu who were there almost, well, I was going to say single-handedly, but two of them. But for a few years, they were there and looking after everything, and looking after the Westerners, and looking after Guru Maharaj, but looking after the Westerners who came. So we are the recipient of the grace of the Vaishnavas, and we in turn try to share that with others. All right, well, Praneshri suddenly, oh, you showed us the flower. Was that what you were showing us? No.
No. Maharaj, Chintamani has a raised hand.
Does she? It's
it's Nadia Sundari.
Da. Yes.
Dandavat Maharaj, as I'm first, and Dandavat devotees, as I'm first time on this Zoom, you reminded me, and I want to share one of the most sweetest memory I will have. Once I was trying to put a pillow on in temple room on the proper place, and I asked you, where would you like to sit? And you unexpectedly answered me that I would like to sit under the mango tree near the gate of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. And maybe you remember that, but now you are all happy to hear that, but I started to cry because it was very unexpected.
Hare Krishna. I would like to sit under the mango tree there. And the Gurudev, he made those sitting places. They were not there before, those sitting places under the trees, the mango trees.
Thanks.
And the little wall that goes around. And Priyanana, Praneshri Diri, I'm wondering whether the pink flowers that you're referring to, is it the same as this flower that Priyanana Devirasi has as her thumbnail, whatever they call it? You see that flower? Is it this flower but pink?
No, it has a lot of petals. It's a flower that is rounded. It's not just like one.
Okay.
One layer is rounded, the flower itself, but it's big. The big flower. So it was a very beautiful, gorgeous garland every day, but very light. These flowers were very light. Although it looked thick, it was very, very light.
Hare Krishna. Okay, well, we've been transported to Navadip, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev today. And the treasure house, the treasures that are distributed from there, then those treasures have come all over the world in the form of the teachings and guidance of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. And the connection through the hearts of the devotees, as we're hearing today, that connection going around the world, and Gurudev coming himself around the world and distributing with the best heart, the best jewels all over the planet. So it is fortunate for all of those who've come in touch with the teachings, with the mood, with the direction of how to lead our life. What is now the purpose? We have a purpose to live. We now know the purpose. It's not just a world of theory, but the world of reality that we are aiming for. And we have the direction of how to go, the path. So they've given us all of these things. And from Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, then that golden volcano of divine love, divine lava of love, that has flowed from there. And Guru Maharaj told that from here, this is the source of our good fortune. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai, and jai the wonderful, beautiful deities of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Saprika Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sunda Ju ki jai. And jai to Om Vishnupad Srila Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. To Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. And jai to Guru Maharaj's Guru, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. And to all of our Sri Rupa Nuga Sampradaya ki jai. To Sriman Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. To Aparada Bhanjaner Pat, this collar deep of Navadip ki jai. Sri Navadip Dham ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Vishwaranya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. And to all the unlimited Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. And Jai Shri Rādhāṣṭamī. Hare Krishna. A reminder that Udaharan Prabhu is with us. Udaharan Prabhu, you are very kind. But I was just going to say, oh yes, and Jai Shri Rādhāṣṭamī ki jai. Lalita Saptami ki jai. We've just had Lalita Saptami.
On Friday, yes.
And it's a continual flow of reminder of the rarity and the speciality of what we've come in contact with, and the personalities, the actual living connection with all of these wonderful, unimaginable actually, gems which have been revealed of the topmost plane of the upper world. So wonderful times, our obeisances to all of the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Wishing you successful service days. Chant Hare Krishna, offer your food, and be happy. Govinda Govinda. Ami Ashchi.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Govinda Govinda. Jai.
Govinda Govinda.
Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai. So very special, so sweet. Wherever Maharaj is, Navadvip is there. He carries Navadvip everywhere he goes. So the very reminder of Navadvip, Srila Bhaktiranjan Madhusudan Maharaj, our most beloved Mahananda Prabhu. Dandava pranam. See you soon. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Chintamani, for inviting me and making me part of this satsang.
So
And
nice.
thank you
so
for
sweet.
coming. And thank you to Praneshwari Ma for making this available every single time, 11 p.m. her time. I'm so bratty. I would never host a Zoom at 11 o'clock p.m. No, thank you. You're amazing, Praneshwari Didi. I am so inspired by your seva. Dandavats, all devotees.
The inspiration is Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudana Maharaj. He started BBBC back in Navadi. Unfortunately, no technology, there are no recordings, but thanks to Zoom, we have the recordings. We have 360 BBBCs. Hare Krishna, Dandava pranams.